is March 8th, 2019. This is a BlackStar special report showing you guys what I'm looking at this second. Remember yesterday? Was showing how the Q2 wave, the main wave, looks like it's going through. It already passed through this area. It's on its way over here. And the reason was because of how the magnitudes are getting larger. It's a 6.4 earthquake. People are talking about it. Remember showing you this image right here? Just getting blasted. Not only getting hit at the 10-kilometer depth, 10-kilometer depth, 10-kilometer depth through the region, but also getting hit down at 506, 507, 342 over here. This looks like the main wave coming in. We've already watched the pre-waves come in. Eventually, the big wave that's pushing it is coming behind. And what we're looking for are these larger magnitude earthquakes, the 6 magnitude and greater. This is transition from 4-pointers to 5-pointers, now to 6-pointers as the wave. Even the pre-event waves are getting taller as they're sandwiched between the smaller waves that are leading and the massive wave that triggered this here 6.4. So that wave is already over into this area. Remember, this was yesterday. Well, what are we looking at this morning that's got my feathers kind of in a bind? Let's see. Let's go back in time. Let's take us all the way back. Let's take us all the way back. And look at what's coming down Q1 now. Not looking at anything. You're not looking at anything now. Let's just take this back in time and show you what happened this morning. You see the 6.0 that struck there? You see the 5.4 that struck before that? Near Taiwan. Philippines, Taiwan. Did the math on it and located these positions. Did the math. You're looking at just about 900 miles. The thing to realize, see how we were tracking going along this diagonal line? These are the pins from the 2nd. From March the 2nd, we were tracking that 750 mile an hour wave coming down here. These are striking over here on this line. And while they appear to be pointing straight at our, relatively straight to our position, which is right here. See, it appears to be a straight line right towards it, but the wave is actually coming in like this. So if you imagine a wave that's being pushed, a gigantic wave, it's filling the entire corridor here. Then the outside part of this wave is, since this is further from the center point, so you have a center line where this guy's running right through here. Since this is further away from the center point, the wave would have taken more time to reach that one than this feller here. So in my mind, I feel it coming down at about 100 miles per hour, but because of the angle, then it's going to be showing moving more slowly. And the calculation turned out to be 71 miles per hour, 71.04. If our velocity is about 100, it just seems to me, and the varying distances, that it's going to be just about the same. So that's what I'm answering everybody's emails and just kind of keeping an eye on Earthquake 3D. These two guys popped up. And the second one being 6 magnitude right here. And when you look at similar to the other side, you see you have the one at the 10 kilometers, the one at the 54 kilometers. And whenever you look at these boys over here, and you start looking at the kilometers, how deep they're going to have to go. Let's see. See them at 10, and then you see them at 29 kilometers. Those other two must have dropped off the map because they're over a week old. The 2 deeper quakes that struck there. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. Q1 and 2 are giving us most of the data. Nothing for the whole week. This is a whole week with smaller magnitudes. Oh, the reason those didn't show up is because I had the magnitudes. I just want to show you the larger earthquake events. No, those deeper ones. Yeah, there they are. There's those deeper ones that I was looking for, 506 and 507. But we're not getting that kind of activity out in this area because of the differences between the way that these corridors were formed. Quarter 1 and 2, they were the first two in the game. That's all there was at the start. And quarter 3 branched off over into this direction. And 4 was the final one, the last one. Mantle plume connections being made across through here. And that caused it. 2018 is when it really blossomed, pushed underneath Africa. So we're seeing more activity, and you guys were told that. We just started getting the earthquake activity, what was it, last summer? Moving, when the quake swarm area moved to here, then we got that ping that was heard around the world when the mantle plume connection was made. And then the projection was for these earthquake events to push throughout Africa, so beginning here, and then working on radial lines. When you go from where the mantle plume connection is made, and you start drawing radial lines, you'll see that these quakes are going to be similar to these quakes, but there's another mantle plume connection up here. So as these mantle plume connections were made in rapid succession, along with the Hawaii mantle plume being made, that's what really pushed it over into this region. But what you get is the terminal end of the quarter 4 just never stopped. It just kept going. Once it was way over here, and it pushed throughout the summer, pushed all the way to the terminal end of quarter 2. Pushed against quarter 2 down here. I shouldn't say the terminal end, that's the elbow position. So whenever you get that kind of expansion, according to what I'm understanding about the dynamic, and from studying this the last 3 years, and scientists being puzzled about the whole thing, doesn't seem like they're spending enough time on it in my mind, then maybe I'm becoming the leading authority on mantle plume dynamics, on the mechanics of how it's going on, the dynamics of how magma wave rebound is taking place at the elbow positions, and the coalescence is taking place at the terminal positions, and causing the expansion, and then the high pressure at the 660 discontinuity line being so different from the 410 that you get the horn formations forming. And I'm thinking that that geologists and physicists around the world just haven't jumped onto this topic. It's a fringe topic to geologists, and they're thinking that that magma plume formations are just little deals, not even to be that concerned about, whenever the one that's growing out of control right now is posing a threat to the entire planet. So that's the reason that I'm not seeing horn formations popping up through this region. That's my suspicion anyway. And it's kind of difficult to make sense out of this whenever you're looking at the whole week. But when you start breaking it down into what's just happening, and then the one that's before that, the most recent, and then the one that was before that, and the magnitude's growing. There's the one at 47, the 47 kilometer depth. So I'm seeing the activity shifting down from there, coming through here, and bam, on down. And it looks like that we're converging on the spot. Right here is where the convergence should take place. This wave that's coming down through here is going there. This wave that was tracked back here, dated 2 days ago, is now coming in. So these two waves appear to be converging on the same spot at the same time. Quarter 4 is assumed to be converging too, even though we're not seeing as many of the signs of it because of what I explained earlier. See, there are some horn formations that are there. See, where you're getting a strike at the 10 kilometer depth. That's what this quake right here seems to be associated with. Smaller magnitude means that it's the pre-wave that's coming through. So I'm expecting this same exact location right here. There's a horn formation under here. That's why it struck up at the 10 kilometer depth. Right along the edge of this asteroid. So whenever the larger wave gets here, the sixes, we should see something larger. That's going to be, and then this is really close to our epicenter, to where the epicenter of this projected quake is supposed to strike. Getting pretty close. So you're going to see another warning update, because this is what we're doing is we're documenting the progression of earthquakes converging on this point from magma wave energy coursing through these three, I'm calling them three now, three primary corridors. 1 and 3 are actually doing the same thing. And it's almost, whenever you look at seeing this activity on this side, it's almost like you can feel the energy coming down 3 causing this, and the energy coming down 1 causing this. But I think that they're connected up here, like 2A and 2B are connected over here on the other side. I think that they're connected further up here, so you're getting convergence of these two corridors being dumped into one, producing a bigger wave. So the corridor is going to be narrow up through here and then widen right through here, so you have increased velocity as this thing's coming from the terminal end positions that were greatly expanded environment up there. Then the compression from the rebound that came along with the rebound sent that coursing through more rapidly. Rapid. And then you get the opening up here where the waves come together, and then you get the slower miles per hour. Remember, this was tracked at 750 miles per hour coming down here, but that was going to be a pre-wave through a narrow corridor. That's the way that situation looks at the moment. So just a short update. These two quakes right here look to be one at the 10-kilometer depth, one at the deeper depth. See, we're getting struck at the 10-kilometer depth here, horn formations, and this is where we're expecting the epicenter to be for the event that's right now projected to strike about a little bit after 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the 9th, tomorrow. So we'll see if it hits on the earlier side of that window or on the later side of that window or right on. Here in the, we're going to know something over the weekend as far as whether the March 9th date's going to be accurate, obviously. But then, you know, we're just going to keep watching. The way that this the progression is taking place right now, it looks to me like this is going to be, that the projection time is going to be just about right.
If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.